Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, Browns Lifers, where we talk all things Browns because we're not just fans. This is a way of life. This is what we do. So without further ado, I want to talk about the NFL owners meeting that just took place in Orlando, Florida. Some good things came out of those meetings as Andrew Berry, Coach Kevin Stefanski, and Jimmy and Dee Haslam spoke in front of the media and gave us things that we should discuss. The first thing that I like to discuss is the meeting between Coach Kevin Stefanski and the media. During the NFL owners meeting, Kevin Stefanski met before the media and he talked about the turnover on the offensive side of the ball with the coaching changes that took place during the offseason so far and the addition of Jerry Jeudy, as well as rehab updates from Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson. So let's just dive right into that. Kevin Stefanski talked about the offensive coaching changes, which he felt that we needed to get better and more accommodating for Deshaun Watson. Because we all know that the Browns are going to want to pass the ball more this year, especially with the signing of Jerry Jeudy and the health of Deshaun Watson. So bringing in somebody like Ken Dorsey to implement more run-pass options and also more spread formations is something that we should look forward to as Browns fans. I'm sure that a lot of people will always want to run the ball, but I think that those days are going to be in the past. I think that we're going to be a very much wide open offense, passing the ball more and leaning less on our running backs. So we might as well get our head wrapped around that this is the way of the new NFL, and I think that the Browns are embracing the passing game more. So we'll see what that looks like in this coming season, and we'll see what success and success rate that this new offense will have and how it looks. I'm hoping that it'll be more explosive and that we won't have the long methodical drives, but we'll have more big plays, which will be more exciting as well. So we'll see how that turns out. Also, Kevin Stefanski spoke on the rehab of Nick Chubb, which he said was going well, and that Nick Chubb was in the building every day, that he sees him every day, which is a good thing. Nick Chubb is going to do Nick Chubb things, and I would not expect anything less from him to be in the facilities each and every day rehabbing, trying to get back to health with this team. So that was a breath of fresh air. And also he spoke on Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson is starting to throw as Coach Stefanski and Ken Dorsey went down to visit him. All reports say that it was a good visit and that Deshaun walked away from the face-to-face meeting with Ken Dorsey excited about the direction of the offense and looking forward to starting to implement some of these things in the offseason program. So we'll see how it goes, and I'm glad that so far Ken Dorsey and Deshaun Watson are mixing well, and hopefully that working relationship will only get better, and we'll see the results of it this fall, scoring a lot of points. So that was pretty much the breakdown of Kevin Stefanski's availability. Also, our general manager, Andrew Berry, met with the media, and one of the biggest takeaways, again, was that Nick Chubb will be starting to run. Not sprinting or anything like that, but Andrew Berry said that the next 3 months will be critical in the process of Nick Chubb and his availability for the beginning of the season. So let's just hope that all goes well and that there's no setbacks. Even though it was a gruesome injury, I would not bet against Nick Chubb to be available as soon as possible. So we'll see how that goes. Also, Andrew Berry spoke on one of the new things that will be implemented in the NFL, which is the NFL pushed back the trading deadline 1 week to after week 9. He obviously wanted it to be pushed back 2 weeks. So hopefully it's just baby steps and they'll see how it goes this year and that we'll get that trading deadline pushed back. And I think that with the NFL trade deadline pushed back further, I think that we'll get more action and more excitement during the NFL trade deadline like we do during the NBA and Major League Baseball. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully Andrew Berry will get his wish sooner rather than later. You know how the NFL is. So we'll see. The other things that Andrew Berry touched on was the contract extension of Jerry Jeudy. 3 years worth $52 million and $41 million of it was guaranteed. Now I know some people didn't like the fact that Andrew Berry extended Jerry Jeudy, and they definitely didn't like the fact that he extended them for such good money. Well, according to Andrew Berry and the way that he looks at it, if Jerry Jeudy becomes who they think he'll be over the course of these 3 years, they will look back on it and say that it was a bargain that we were able to sign Jerry Jeudy to this contract. So it's a gamble, but I think in the end it's a gamble worth taking because Jerry Jeudy in this system with Deshaun Watson, I think will be able to produce more than he did with Denver. So hopefully with him being with Amari Cooper, who is his idol role model, that, you know, he'll be able to learn some things from Amari Cooper and become a better wide receiver. So I personally think that the contract was okay. And we'll see. Only time will tell. Hopefully Jerry Jeudy will get on the football field this fall and ball out and have us all excited and happy that he's extended through the next 3 years. So we'll see. I think that Andrew Berry's always playing chess, and I think that this was a chess move that was very calculated, and I think that the risk did not outweigh the rewards. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. You never know with these things, but I think that in the end we'll be happy with that signing. Now to Jimmy and Dee Haslam. Their biggest news catching items during their interview was the anticipation of what's next for Cleveland Browns Stadium. They pretty much said that if they stay at the current site, which is on the lake, that it will be $1 billion project, reconstructed and rebuilt with some additions, but no dome. And that the Brook Park place that has been talked about will be a place where they could put a dome, which will be more expensive and it'll cost taxpayers. I'm sure Jimmy, when asked about would he come forth with the money, said that he'll see. So typically they pay some and the taxpayers pay some. Where I stand on that is, I'm team dome. I would love to see Northeast Ohio with a dome. I understand that there's downsides to the stadium not being downtown. But I think that overall, with a dome as opposed to an open stadium, that economically, it makes more sense to have a dome because you won't just have to rely on the home games to bring income to the city of Cleveland, even though it'll be in Brook Park. Because I think that a lot of people will still stay downtown. I think that if our mayor will be able to be forward thinking, that he'll have some type of transportation where it'll be easy to get from Brook Park to downtown. And I think that at the end, the stadium being moved from downtown on the lakefront to Brook Park will even itself out. So we'll be able to get some WrestleManias, maybe a Super Bowl down the line, some NCAA tournaments, things like that. You have to think also conventions and stuff like that that wouldn't necessarily be things that Cleveland could have, especially during the wintertime. So I think that the Dome would be a better option for Northeast Ohio, and I definitely will look forward to experiencing the Dome. And I think that if a Dome is built, it'll be a state-of-the-art facility that all of Northeast Ohio could be proud of. And as far as the play goes, I think that a covered dome with our fan base would be unbelievable, and that noise advantage would be greater than any weather advantage that we could ever have. And I don't know about you, but I necessarily don't think that it's very fun to sit out on the lake in 10-degree weather with a minus 10-degree wind chill to watch a football game. I'd rather watch it in the comforts of a dome and make some noise. And I think that the way that our team is constructed now, that it'll be an advantage for us to be on a fast surface playing an open style of offense as well as having a fast defense. So we'll see what happens. I think that anything's not imminent. There also could be other sites that a stadium can be built at, and maybe they could come up with a plan to keep the stadium downtown, maybe not on the lake, but maybe find enough real estate land that they could build the stadium downtown and still have a dome. But I'm team dome all the way. Let me know how you feel about it in my comments, and let's have a healthy discussion, because as a Browns lifer, we can disagree, we can not see eye to eye, but we can always respect each other and just hear each other's point of view. That's just my point of view on the stadium, and I will be interested to hear what your point of view is as well. So those are the main things that were talked about during the NFL owners meeting. And I think that, overall, the news was good. I can remember times past when we wanted to know who our quarterback was going to be. We wanted to know if we was going to draft a quarterback in the upcoming draft. We wanted to know what holes needed to be filled and how the team looked at completing the roster. But now I think that our roster is good and we're in a good position. And I think that those critical questions have already been answered. It's just about putting it together on the football field. And so all of the things that's going on now is things that are geared towards putting the best product on the field and also being consistent in wins for the upcoming season. One of the other things that came out during the NFL owners meeting is there's going to be a new kickoff rule. It's very complicated. As we get closer to the season, it'll be something that we'll discuss. For now, I think that the rule is geared towards having more kick returns, because the kickoff is an exciting part of the game. And I think that the NFL recognized that touchbacks were not good for the NFL. So these rules are designed that we can get some excitement back in the kickoff, but also protect the health of the players. So now there'll be zones, and there's a 10-yard difference between the offense and the defense, and the ball, no one can move until the ball is touched by a return person, and if you kick the ball into the end zone, the ball comes out to the 30. So we'll see how it goes. I think the fact that we signed Nyheim Hines will be a good addition, especially now that the NFL rule has changed. So maybe we can get some returns for touchdowns in the kickoff team this year, and it'll be an advantage for us. So as always, if you like the content that I've shared today, give me a like and a follow. And I continue to put out more news as more news comes out. And also, feel free to comment, because I like to hear your thoughts and your ideas on how to grow this channel and how to make it more interesting to you all. Because at the end of the day, it's just about entertaining you all and bringing forth Browns information that you want to hear. So, as always, give me a like, give me a follow, and I will really appreciate it. Until next time, go Browns.